Hey guys, Chris Honeycutt here with some more Thursday thoughts. Today we're talking about vision. No, I don't have contact lenses in. I don't have my glasses on today. But see, vision is important for leadership. Leaders must carry a vision. And not only does the leader carry the vision, that vision must be carried by others as well. And so if you have a dream and you want to actually actuate that dream and make it a reality, this is where vision comes into play. So my mentor John Maxwell once said, for leaders, vision sets direction for their lives. It's like having a roadmap. It prioritizes both action and values, helping leaders remain focused. And it creates passion. It lights a fire within leaders that can spread to others. This is where vision is so important, because what would you do if you were around a leader that didn't have a vision, that just kind of did the same thing every day? You know what? I've been around people like that, and I would not call them visionaries. I would not call them someone I would want to follow in times of war or anything like that. This is where there's a difference between being a leader and being a manager. And so managers kind of manage the present. Visionaries and leaders, they manage the future. And this is where we want to manage our future. When we say manage, that means to take care of it. And how do you take care of something that's not there yet? This is where you start building towards it. This means that you are taking care of the present because you have to build towards something in the future. So I want to start off talking about the 4 different kinds of people that leaders may encounter when it comes to vision. There's going to be the people who just never see it. These are the wanderers. These are the people that are just kind of going through life. Day to day, the same old, same old. They just don't really see a future. This is kind of where they're just managing their life. And there's good, there's bad, and sometimes there's ugly to that. This is where there's no passion to that. Then there's the people who see it, but never pursue it on their own. These are the followers. They need someone to lead them. They need that visionary. They're not the visionary themselves. They're not really even leaders themselves. These are people that need to see it, and then they'll follow it. This has parallels a lot to faith. There's a lot of people that will only believe when they see it. But a leader has faith. A leader has vision. He sees it, he believes it, he does it. And he helps other people bring them along. But these other people are the followers. They're not going to jump until they see an opportunity. And then you have the people who do see it and pursue it, but it stays with them. And that's what you call achievers. It's self-focused. This is where they are focusing on their own journey, on their own goals. And that's fine and good. You have a lot of people like that. But the problem is you're not a leader. You're leading yourself maybe. Maybe you're leading your own family in the sense by providing for them, but you are not a leader of others. You're not taking them along for the ride. You're not letting them see what you see. And so that brings us to the final one. People who see it, pursue it, and help others see and pursue it. This is what we would call a leader. And this is where a leader leads. You got all those people that really don't quite believe until they see some concrete evidence that it's going to happen. And this is where we go back to the faith part of this. That, you know what? Is it really faith if you need evidence? So many people don't make that jump. They don't follow someone who is a visionary unless they have it clearly mapped out. They have some statistics. They have the money, whatever it might be, to back it up. A leader, a visionary, doesn't need that. And he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need statistics. He doesn't need evidence to go and pursue this vision. And so that's where leaders come in. Leaders see beyond the present. They see the future. They see beyond the means and resources they have in the present. And they see what will come. And so in a spiritual sense, they have that reassurance that comes from faith. They have that reassurance that God will come through. You know, I'm a great admirer of Walt Disney. He was a visionary. He was someone that saw something before anyone else did. But he brought other people along for the ride. And you know what? He built Disneyland in the middle of some orange groves in Southern California. And he didn't have the resources, the money to do it, but yet he had the vision. Walt Disney was able to collaborate with a lot of smart people, a lot of creative people to help make his vision for Disneyland become a reality. And later on, he had a vision for an even bigger park, something called Walt Disney World. One of Walt's business partners walked up to Mrs. Disney when Magic Kingdom was opening up, and he said to her, "I just wish Walt could have seen this." And she replied, "He did." Because vision is not about even you seeing it come to completion. Vision is about bringing other people for the ride. And this is where Walt Disney never saw Walt Disney World become a reality. As a leader, need to be okay with that. Maybe what you're building towards, maybe the vision that you have is not for anytime soon. Maybe it will become a reality in the next generation. Think of Moses leading the Israelites out into the wilderness, and it was Joshua that would eventually lead them into the promised land. The same thing is true with you and your vision. You see, leaders don't need to see to believe it. Leave that for the followers. Leave that for the people that really you need to bring along for the ride and just don't have that confidence in them to follow through on just vision alone. So why do you even need other people along for the ride? Can't you carry the vision yourself? Can't you pursue things and build it yourself? Well, just like with Walt Disney, he's not an engineer. He's barely even an artist. He's barely even someone that could put a theme park together. He has the vision for it. He has maybe some general knowledge, but he doesn't have the specifics to pull it off. And this is where you need other people. And that means that maybe your vision isn't going to be specifically catered to what you perceive. Maybe it's going to be a little different, but the general vision will still be there. Because when you involve other people, they're going to add their color to it. They're going to add their gifts and talents into the mix. And this is where you need to have flexibility as a leader. This is where there's always more than one answer. There's always different approaches, and it can get you to the same endpoint. And you also need creativity that you do not have. Different ways to solve a problem. Maybe you don't have that answer. You need to go out and find someone who can lend their creativity to the process. As John Maxwell once said, there is no hopeless situations, only people who think hopelessly. That means, oh, it's over. Oh, we can't think of a solution to this problem. Oh, we need to give up. This vision is crazy. No, maybe you need to be around other people. Maybe you need to pull different kind of people into the process. This is where, again, there's been many times in my life where a lot of people scoffed at the vision I had for something. They said, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I'm not in the right city, I don't even have the gifts myself to pull it off. But you know what? I'm the type of guy, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. And that's not rebelliousness, it's just feeding that desire in me to pursue what God has placed in my heart. So the same is true for you, that you know what? You need to be able to move past the scoffers. You need to bring other people into what you're doing. You need creativity, you need flexibility, and that's part of bringing other people along for the ride. You know, we see this in Habakkuk 2, verses 2 through 3. This is out of the ESV. And the Lord answered me, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. For still the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end, it will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come, it will not delay. That means a vision is not supposed to be complicated. A vision is born out of an idea, out of a dream. And you know what? You're probably not the smartest guy in the room anyways. This is where you need to have a vision that is plain, that is simple. It's simple to communicate, simple to implement, simple to pull off. I don't mean that the vision itself is simple and plain. If that was the case, it probably would not excite anybody. I'm talking about in the approach to make it happen. A lot of people kind of believe themselves out of something rather than believe themselves into something. They'll talk themselves out of it rather than talking themselves into it. And a lot of times, big ideas are a lot simpler to pull off than we believe. Because all it takes is for other people to be at the table, other people that we draw in. This is why you as a visionary, you as a leader, need to do a good job of making it plain so that others may run with it. Now, I want to end today's podcast by sharing a quote from Steve Jobs. If you know who Steve Jobs is, you should thank him for the iPhone, the iPad, the Macintosh computer. He's the one who founded Apple. But you know what? He wasn't alone in doing that. He had help. He had other programmers. He had other people that saw the vision and carried it with them. If you're working on something exciting you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. And that's where you as a leader have to do a good job of casting vision. When you cast vision, it's just going to pull people in. It's going to even pull yourself up. This is where there's going to be times where it seems dark, doesn't seem like you're going to be able to pull it off, but then you go over that vision in your head and in your heart. And that's where it's going to pull you right out of the hole that you're in. So let me encourage you today, make that vision plain. Make it so that others may run with it, that they see the vision for themselves, that you do a good job of casting vision. There's many people throughout history that were able to pull this off, and you can too. That's it for Thursday Thoughts. Have a great day.